Greetings and welcome to BTY. My name is Michael and I will be your host for today. I'm very happy to be presenting our very first video of the year 2025. And in this video, I want to talk about credit score. So credit score is something that a lot of us young people like to ignore and put in the back of our minds until we really have to start thinking about it. And it was the very same story for me up until about a few months ago when I decided to look a bit into it and actually find out, what it was all about. I don't even think I had a good definition of what it was up until a few months ago. And so, in the process of learning about credit score, I've actually gotten my credit score up from a score of -1 to 640. And I'm going to be showing you in this video how you can actually get your credit score up, why it's something that you should be doing, and also how you can maintain a good credit score. So why do I need to get my credit score up? You may be asking, and that was exactly the same question that I had not too long ago. And you know, the very simple answer to that question is: without a credit score, you are going to be unable to take out loans, mortgages, etc. And my mentality towards that question, not too long ago was, well, I don't want to be in debt. I was trying to avoid debt for as long as possible. So I was like, well, it's not something I really need right now. But, even if you do try to avoid, getting into debt while you are perhaps in your early 20s, maybe while you're in university, you will at some point have to get yourself into debt, whether it's for a phone contract, for example, whether it be for a credit card, getting a mortgage on your house. You are at some point going to need to take out a loan of some sorts. And when you don't have a credit score, um, or you have a very low credit score, it's going to be harder for you to get these loans. So if you have no credit score whatsoever, for example, many companies that give out loans will not even consider you. And one great thing about having a higher credit score is that if you do have a higher credit score, then you will actually receive lower interest rates on the loans that you take out. So companies that give out these loans, mortgages, etc., will actually take a look at your credit score through the services provided in your country. Here in South Africa, I think a lot of companies will look at something like Experian, which is what is used to check on credit scores, etc. More on that later. But yeah, they will have a look at your credit score, and based on what score it's at, they'll actually determine what premiums they're going to charge you on their loans. Another benefit to having a higher credit score is that you can get rewards on credit cards. So when you take out a credit card and you use that credit card, the higher your credit score is, a lot of these credit cards and banking apps, we have F&B and Discovery. There's a lot of rewards that come with having a good credit score and having a credit card with these companies. They like to encourage you to use your credit card and to use it well. And you'll get rewards like access to those private lounges and all sorts of other things that they can choose. But yeah, by having a good credit score, you make yourself more likely to be applicable for those rewards. And another thing is that you get discounts on insurance. So not only on those loans will you get better premiums, but also on your insurance quotes, you'll be more likely to get a better quote when you have a good credit score as opposed to having a very low credit score. They just won't be too happy with that, and they'll be more likely to actually give you a higher premium at that point. So the next question that you'll likely be asking is, okay, but how do I get my credit score up? And that's exactly, again, where I found myself, because I had just started to realize, okay, that there's actually some importance behind having a good credit score. And I was like, okay, but what do I actually do to get it up? And I spoke to a couple of friends who, some of the friends my age had done nothing about it, but then a couple of my other friends had actually gotten their credit score up and running and were able to give me some good tips. But one thing that I would really recommend that you do if you are looking to get your credit score going is to download ClearScore. Now, this is an app that you can download on your phone. It is available here in South Africa, and I know it's available in other countries as well. But this app is basically going to allow you to monitor your credit score. It's going to teach you how you can improve your credit score, and it's just going to be very useful in this journey. Just to disclaim, this video is not sponsored by ClearScore. I just made use of this app and I find it very useful. when I was going about, getting my credit score up and running. So download ClearScore, and once you've done that, you've made an account, you've put in your details, your ID number and so on. They will run a background check on you and check if you have any credit score data. And if you've taken out loans before, then obviously you might have something. But when I first logged onto the app, it looked something like this, and I had a score of -1. And I was like, what? How can I have -1 already? I've never even taken out a loan. But what -1 actually means is that they don't have any data. It doesn't mean that you've done something bad or negative yet. It just means that, when you first log on and you've never taken out a loan, don't be worried by that statistic, because it just means that they have no data on you, and it's almost just like a default score that is given to you. So what's great about this ClearScore app is that they will give you recommendations of things that you can do to get your credit score up. Easy and cheap accounts that you can take out at certain stores that will, you can buy something on credit there, and that will in turn start to get your credit score up. So what did I do? So what I did, I actually was, what got me started on this was that I needed a new phone. And obviously I couldn't afford to buy a brand new iPhone, cash. So what I did is I took out a contract for the first time, paying it off myself now, earning a salary. And this was when I got, started on this journey. So that is how I've actually got my credit score up in the last few months, is by taking out a phone contract. This is a good way to do it. If you take out a phone contract through one of your mobile providers, MTN, Vodacom, etc. Again, they're going to have to run a check on your credit score. And if there's nothing, what's great about getting a phone contract, for example, they're not too strict on these kind of things. They're likely to still, approve giving you the contract. If you have a low credit score, I had nothing, and they approved mine. So a phone contract is a good way to go if you perhaps need a new phone and you also want to get your credit score up and higher. Another thing that you can look into, and this is what I've seen on the ClearScore app, is there are these rewards cards, or rather, credit cards, you could say, from companies like the Fashini Group. There's also Macro, Game, True Words, and Sportscene. And I've seen it at Unique, the clothing store. So what you do is you go in store. You can even do it online, I think, with some of them. But yeah, it's easy to go in store to these different stores and apply for their credit card, and they will not really care if you have a low credit score. But what you can do, what's great about these is that these are quite, especially those ones that I mentioned, they are quite cheap. So they, when you take out a credit card, there is always a monthly fee. So I know that True Words one, for example, is one of the cheapest ones you can get. That's like 30 Rand per month that you'll be paying. And what you can do is just buy, a nice t-shirt for yourself on credit. And once you've done that, you pay it off after a few months. Like, let's say you pay, the t-shirt costs 500 Rand, and for the next 3 months, you pay that shirt off bit by bit. And what that is going to do is that is going to build up your credit score. And what I've noticed is that when I took out my phone contract, obviously that was for the amount of a new iPhone, and I'm paying now a monthly, fee to pay that phone off. And after 2 or 3 months, for a while I was checking every month my credit report on ClearScore, and it wasn't going up. And I was like, well, okay. But eventually, after about 2 or 3 months, and ClearScore was sending me emails the whole time on, uh, little updates. But yeah, like I said, after 2 or 3 months, my credit score went up, and as you can see, I'm now up to 630, 40 odd, which is a very good credit score. It just means that I've currently missed no payments, and paying off everything on time, which is what you want. Okay, so now that you have learned, why having a credit score is important, and also how you can actually get it going, now later on you'll be able to get approved for those loans that we spoke about, and you'll be able to get access to the benefits of having a good credit score. But how do you actually keep a good credit score? And this is something I've looked into and done a bit of research on. So the most important factors in terms of keeping your credit score at a good score, that is going to get you those loans and things that you need, one of the most important factors is to always pay the amount on time. So with a lot of these things, you'll be setting up debit orders. So for example, my phone contract, it has a specific date that it goes off every month, and it takes the money off my account. So just make sure that you always have enough money in your account to, pay the amount that is on that debit order. If you are not paying on debit order and you have to, manually make the payments, then just make sure that you do it on time every month. Because the quite scary thing is that if you miss a payment, that will actually show up on your credit score report for 6 years. So if I miss a payment on my phone contract next month, for the next 6 years, that'll show up. And every time I'm applying for a loan in the next 6 years, when I want to buy a house, for example, that is going to show up. So just make sure to make those payments on time and try not to miss any payments. It's not like if you miss a payment, it's going to ruin your chances forever. But, it is something to really try to avoid if you can at all costs. And then another tip is that when you are taking out debts, just make sure that you aren't taking out debt that is any higher than 35% of your income. So on ClearScore, you can also set what is your monthly income, what is your monthly debt, and what are your expenses. And what it'll look at is the percentage of your debt to your income. And if that is higher than 35%, companies will also take a look at this and they will want to know this information before they approve, a loan for you, for example. And, if it's higher than that, companies tend to, look at it badly. So just make sure that your debt does not exceed 35% of your monthly income. And that has been today's video on getting your credit score up and running. I hope that it has been helpful to you. This is something that I would have wanted to get my hands on a few months ago. So I really hope that this has been informational and helpful to you. And if it has, then please be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel for all sorts of content that we like to put out. This year is going to be a big one for us. Daniel and I are tackling it, and we really are going to be trying to provide you guys with a lot of good content and a lot to be focused actually on finances. Starting off with this video, getting your credit score up and running, but also other areas of finance such as investing and so on and so forth. But even stuff like physical fitness, we're going to be focusing on for the next few months. So if you want to stick around for that, then consider subscribing to this channel and share this video with someone who you think needs to get their credit score up. Thank you so much for watching, and that has been it from me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Much love from BTY.